Before you make any New Year's resolution, you have to understand one important thing. That is, the old you has to die.
Have you ever wondered why New Year's resolutions often fail? Well, we got a few perspectives here of why that is and how you can fix it. Let's get right into it.
You're setting some big power goals for next year, but you want to make sure you set them up the right way. In the past, you've probably set things up like a laundry list of things you want to accomplish next year. I want to drink a little less. I want to work out more. But do you see how easy these things are to back out? Using language like try, or I need to, or I should, is always defeatist, and it's already giving you a way out, and it's laced with shame. So instead of a laundry list, back up. What identity do you want to take on next year? So not I'm going to work out more, but I'm becoming someone who prioritizes his health, and let the habits flow out of that. Commit to a new identity, not just a habit, because it's much easier to latch on and commit to habits when they're attached to a new identity. So when it's cold like today and you don't want to go for a workout or run, you remember that your identity is I'm becoming a healthier person,
Yes.
despite whatever the obstacles might be to that. So identity, be someone new in the new year, not just a list of new things, but a new person, and let those new things, those new habits and endeavors flow out of that.
I totally agree. Motivation is like fuel, right? It's super high in the beginning and it slowly wanes down, right? And if you have a system in place where you have habits that you're going to say, you know what, every single morning I'm going to meditate. Every single morning I'm going to go for that run, or I'm going to go to the gym for 30 minutes to, lift weights or whatever. You make it mandatory. It's part of who you are. It's part of that system. Every week you got to do it no matter what, even if you don't feel like it. And like you said, it's super cold out where he was in that video. And most people would have said, I don't want to go out today. I don't feel like it. It's too cold for me, but he still went out there. That's the difference between general goal making and actually putting in systems and creating habits every single week that will get you to that goal. And that's what has been a big shift for me in my life, especially when it comes to studying and different sets of goals that I have for myself. Let's keep going.
Just listen to a 2-hour podcast so you don't have to, and there's actually a reason why most people will fail their New Year's resolutions. And there's a cheat code if you actually want to see massive change happen going into 2026. Most people will go into the new year by thinking that they're going to be more successful by adding more onto their plate. New goals, new habits, new this, new that. And this is actually the recipe for failure. Because setting your expectations unrealistically high does not increase your performance. It actually does the exact opposite. Because what you're telling yourself is new year, new me. I'm going to add all these things onto my plate and my capacity will expand and I'll be able to handle it. That's not what happens. It's like when you go to a buffet and you're putting all these food onto your plate and you're like, wow, this is a lot, but my stomach is just going to expand to be able to eat it all. That's not what happens. If you eat all that food, you're going to get sick. So this is a cheat code to assume that you actually can't do more than what you're doing right now. And I know you're like, wait, what? But hear me out. This means that if you want to pick up something new, you have to put something down. You want more of this, you have to have less of that. Every year, everyone says new year, new me. I'm going to go all in. I'm extremely motivated, and maybe they are, and they're successful for a week or so, but they're going to burn out because they're running solely off of enthusiasm and motivation. But that is something that you have zero control over. That is a fuel source that you cannot control. It is going to leave, so you have to focus on what you can control, your systems, that actually work on the hard days when you don't want to do it, when you're feeling lazy, when you're feeling unmotivated. That's inevitable. You're human. It's going to happen. So this means sitting down with yourself and asking yourself the uncomfortable questions. First question, how would you spend your day-to-day life if your goal was to make your 85-year-old self as miserable as possible? How did you live your last 365 days to get you exactly to this point of feeling unfulfilled, constricted, stuck, unmotivated? What would need to actually happen for you to look back at 2026 at the end of the year and think, wow, that was a successful year?
Again, I agree. Doing less is more, because everyone has that shiny object syndrome, right? Not everyone, but a lot of people do, where they'll see this business opportunity, that career path, and they'll just pick up and drop what they were doing and go to that, and then they'll do it for a few weeks and then they'll drop it and they'll keep going. That kind of thing also is what hinders people from getting to where they want to get to in life. But another thing too as well is just putting too many things, too many tasks, too many goals within a short period of time. Like I've heard of people saying in 90 days, I want to get 5 goals done. Why don't you just try doing 2 or even 1 and doing it to the best of your ability and actually completing it this time?
This is why your New Year resolution is not going to work. I asked ChatGPT, what percentage of New Year's resolutions fail, and this is what it told me. And it cited the major reason most New Year resolutions fail is because they are based on emotions and not on systems. I've always disliked the idea of New Year resolutions. The reason is when the calendar changes from 2025 to 2026, there isn't some internal switch that just flips and you instantly become this super disciplined person that just achieves all their goals. It's not possible. It does not work like that. Think about it. Why quit drinking January 1st when you can quit now? Why start that new fitness routine January 1st when you can start now?
I completely agree. And that's why I don't wait until New Year's to just change my life. Like, I still go to the gym, I work out, I have my goals set, right? I started them back in September and I'm still working towards what I got to do, right? So it doesn't really matter if New Year's comes around. There are people who do make it work, right? He just said 80% fail. There is that 20% that do end up doing it, but the majority don't. They happen to get their gym memberships and they may go for that first month, not even the first month, maybe 2 weeks. And then by the end of the third, fourth week, they're like, you know what? I don't really have that motivation anymore. No one's really feeling that spirit of really getting to it. It's just you kind of go back to your general habits that you fall into, eating bad food, just, not going out and that kind of thing. So it is very true. It's 100% true. New Year's does not mean that you have to do something that moment. Start earlier and make it consistent. Make a system. Have habits every single day that will get you to that goal that you want to finish.
Why start eating better January 1st when you can start right now? Why build a business January 1st when you can start building it now and start gaining experience? It doesn't really make sense to me. So I thought about it. The reason is people don't really want these things. Aren't you tired of telling your friends, oh, I'm going to get so jacked this year. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be so much more disciplined. And 2-3 months down the line, when you didn't stick to the plan and when you fall off, your friends look at you. They're not even surprised that you fell off. They actually expected you to fall off. It's that bad that when you tell your friends or you tell people that you're going to change and do something in New Year's and you don't achieve those things, that is what they expected. They never expected you to achieve those things. And to me, that is even the greater tragedy.
There are studies that say that the more you share what you're going to do with other people, like for example, right? Let's say somebody's studying to become a software developer and they keep telling everyone out there, I'm a software developer, right? That could actually give you dopamine that you've actually already achieved it and you've achieved that goal. But when you actually do it without having to get that validation from outside, from your friends, from strangers, telling them I'm this, I'm a software developer, even though you haven't actually attained it yet, then you are more likely to not finish it. The only remedy to this is internal validation, giving yourself that thumbs up, and that's going to keep you going down the path until you reach that goal. On one side, it could push you towards it because you feel like you have to do it now, and on the other side, on the flip side, it'll make you feel like you already accomplished it and that you don't have to do it. So it's a double-edged sword, right, in that sense.
And all this type of New Year's will only carry you so far. You need systems, habits, and routines that will actually put you on track to achieving those goals. New Year's resolutions are overrated. Conviction and discipline is underrated.
The key word you just said was discipline, okay? Motivation dwindles, but discipline, you got to do it. Rains, snow, shine, whatever, right? Whatever the saying is, you got to do it every single day. Whether it's sunny outside, whether it's, you still got to go out for that run, okay? That's what he's talking about, discipline. It's already written in that schedule. You got to do it. It's not like, oh, I feel like doing it today. No, it's already there. I have to. Otherwise, it's just that there's a strong need to do it because you see it. You see it. It's part of your identity. It's part of who you are.
New Year's is coming, and I want to talk about why we don't stick to our New Year's resolutions. So, the reason we don't stick to our New Year's resolutions is because we have sub-personalities. Our entire self is not made up of just one whole. It is a series of sub-personalities. And so currently, you're super optimistic, very go-getting sub-personality is telling you, we're going to crush it this new year, we're going to change all of this stuff, it's going to be amazing, let's do it. But what actually happens for us is that as we go into the new year and we try to do the new things, we get protection sub-personalities that pop up. These exist for many different reasons, but the idea here is that we almost have like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde effect, where we have almost like opposite personalities, one that's obstructive and one that is constructive. And so if you don't understand that you will have your obstructive personality show up and try to block your efforts, and if you don't have a plan of how you're going to work with that and how you're going to integrate that, then there's a very high likelihood that your New Year's resolution will not be successful. Because if you just think that you're going to get through this via willpower, that's usually not the case because you haven't done it yet. Obviously, something shows up in your subpersonalities and your protection mechanisms that blocks you. So you need a plan of what this like little kind of gremlin personality is going to say to you and how you're going to reassure it, how you're going to integrate it, and then you'll be successful. That's the secret to New Year's resolutions.
That's a very interesting take that she has. I think we all have experienced it where we tell ourselves, right, in the mirror or while we're just like driving or whatever, like, I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I have to do this task or this goal that you set out for yourself. And then that day comes and you feel like, you know what? I don't really feel like doing it. So internally, you have that person that wants to do that thing. And then you also have that side of you that's just like, you know, I'm lazy. I don't feel like doing it today. Maybe tomorrow.
New Year's resolution is going to fail. You know how I know that? Stick around, I'll tell you why in a second. But New Year's resolutions in general, they are such great ideas. Why? Because the day starts at 0, right? 0 out of 365.
It's a clean slate.
Great starting point. But the lie that we all have been misfed is you can change anything at any time. You don't have to wait until January 1 to have your 0. You can start right now. So how I know that your New Year's resolution is going to fail? Because let's say you're going to stop smoking in 2026. You're waiting until January 1st. Why don't you just do it now? Prove it to me and prove it to yourself. If you really want to stop, why do you have to wait 6 more days or whatever to start? That's how I know it's not going to happen. People who create new habits do not wait until a calendar day to do them.
There's a lot of social pressure when New Year's happens where you have to tell people I'm doing this, or you actually feel obliged, like I have to have a set of goals to do. It's part of the culture. It might be more in the West, but it's just part of the culture. So you feel obliged to write a list or mentally, note down what you want to get done. But if you genuinely don't want to fix this problem in your life or accomplish this goal, you're never going to do it. He's totally right in that. It has to come naturally from within. So even if it's a week before, 2 weeks before New Year's, right? You still got, if you actually start and do it on your own, then that's how you know you're going to actually go through with it. But for the most part, like you said, when you feel like you're obliged, it's New Year's, I got to do this, you're more likely to never finish it. It's very true.
Create a new identity. You can do it right now. So what is that New Year's resolution that you are picking, whether it's large or small?
Yeah.
And cast a vote for the self that you want to be by doing it right now. Start right now. There's no reason not to. Right now. The other trap that we all fall into is New Year's is going to be on a Thursday night, right? So let's say again to stop smoking. It hits midnight. Is that when you stop smoking? Or are you like everyone else where we go, well, we're just going to wait until the work week starts on Monday? You've already lied to yourself. The biggest victim of New Year's resolutions is self-trust, is that when we don't follow through on a new thing, it eats at our self-trust. We stop believing ourselves.
I 100% agree, and I have experiences myself where I have set goals, right? I've set a few or even one, and I don't accomplish it. And that chips away at your self-confidence that you can do what you set out to do. That is so true.
How do you do it? Like I said, start right now. If you're serious about this and you've got the momentum, you don't need 6 more days to pick up anymore. In fact, if you do it right now, you are casting a vote to increase the self-trust. Think of this, think of how amazing of a casted of a vote that is for the future self. When you said, fuck it, I'm starting this now, I'm not waiting until New Year's. What a momentum to ride on. Think about it, do it.
if you're part of that 20% who happens to start on New Year's and finishes it, good for you, you know? I love that for you. But to everyone else out there, take that goal that you have, break it down into certain benchmarks, and put that towards a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or even midweek. So you could evaluate how far you've come to, you know, reaching that goal. And that's what's going to get you there. The daily tasks, the daily habits, not a vague goal that you want to finish within 90 days. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Subscribe for more content like this about goal setting, about jobs, about the economy, about money, finance in general, personal finance. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.